AIP channel where anything is possible. And looks like we're going live. We're trying to or something. We'll see how it goes. But either way, it'll be recorded.
Live worldwide is what I
That's it.
hear.
That's it. Live on the Twitter, Mr. X, the
Where
Rumble,
where are we
and
at live
YouTube.
at on Twitter? I need you to send me that link. Let's see. That's the AIP podcast.
Yeah, I should. Yep, there it is.
There it is. I see us here.
I'm, yep,
Let me get
live
that
on
out
X. Here
there.
we are there.
We're gonna be live on Facebook.
Oh, shit. We're getting
Here
canceled today, baby.
we go.
We're getting canceled today. Let's see if we're live on YouTube. Good times, good times.
I'm trying to tag. There it is. AIP podcast.
And it's going to be had lots of cool things. There we go. I said, welcome to our live show. Okay, yeah, we're live on YouTube. I don't know why it said like that, but hell, we're live on there.
All right, we are now spread across 2G's platforms.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. We are now live on Facebook through my feed, through my fan page as well.
Oh, shit.
And let me go ahead and put it on my Twitter. And then we will kick this shindig off.
Hope everybody's having a lovely Wednesday evening.
Man, what are you doing on your Wednesday? What'd you do today before you jumped on here?
I actually had a little side job, little welding job I was doing today. A friend of mine works for a guy that owns some gas stations, and he wanted a mount for 2 TVs to put over his the food, so they can put like menus on it. And so I went to the steel yard today, steel place, and bought some steel and cut it up and welded it together and painting it, and I'll install it tomorrow. So,
well, there you go, man. There you go. I had to work for a little bit today, slinging those popsicles.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, since you are hanging TVs, man, I'm going to need to talk to you. I got a TV that I need hung the right way, and I just don't think that I have the patience to.
I understand.
I got a bad habit of breaking shit, Ricky. Okay.
I have one of my nicknames is the Demolition Man, so I don't know. I am good at tearing up.
The Demolition Man.
I'm good at tearing up stuff now. I tore up a rear end out of a truck one time, and I had 3 people in combination probably had over 100 and something years experience between the 3 people, and they said they had never seen nobody do that before. And I was like, I'm special.
Hey man, look, if you got it, you got it. You know what I mean? You know, but when you were younger, you could do things like that. I remember one night we tore a transmission up in this lowrider that I had, and my buddy was like, "Man, my grandma's got the same make and model in the back car out, in the backyard out in the field." So, man, 1:30 in the morning, we're out there up under this freaking Cutlass pulling a transmission, in the middle of the field, bro. Now I won't crawl under my own car, bro. I better pay somebody to do that.
And I remember years ago when I was like 22, I got a friend of mine's car was broke down at this little pool hall we hung out at. Hell, I went to another friend's house and picked up a A-frame and brought it there, and he worked on it right there. It was crazy.
Like when we were kids, we were dirt poor, man. And my car, when I finally got enough money to get a car, when that joker broke down, by God, you better know how to fix it. Mm-hmm. You better learn how to replace a water pump. You better learn how to put an alternator on it. You don't know how to do drum brakes? You do today.
Exactly.
You
The,
know,
the best trick, the best trick I learned on drum breaks is just do one at a time. That way you can look on the other side.
yes,
And you
dude. The
have
worst thing I ever did was tear all that shit down, bro.
I,
You only make that mistake one time. You know,
I had
you
a
only
friend do that. I never did it. A friend of mine did it, and I on a truck that I bought from them, and they were and then well one friend sold to another friend, and then he didn't want it no more, so I got it. But he had was going to work on the back brakes, and he tore both sides apart. And I'm like, I guess I don't need back brakes. Hell, the hell with all that. Uh-oh, you went silent on me. You bumped your.
wait a minute. So that's the mute button.
I guess so.
Man, I thought I was just turning the light off. Speaking of randomly touching things, let me tell you what I did one night.
Oh God, dog.
And I got people that can vouch for many of these stories. So my buddy Red can vouch for this. When I was a kid, I worked in a strip club, you know, and my buddy at the time is only 17 years old. And I sneak him into the strip club so that he could hang out with us all night long. I'm 20, and I'm fried out of my mind. I'm so stoned between marijuana and the amount of cocaine that I'm putting through my nose, right? So for whatever reason, man, there's this big, bright, flashing light in the back behind the booth that I can't figure out what this light is behind the DJ mixer. And my dumbass reaches up and presses it. And when I do, I shut down all the lights, all the sound in the club immediately, and was like, oh my God, holy shit. This was on New Year's Eve.
Nice.
So pushing buttons, man, get everything turned back on. Yeah, I got to quit touching stuff.
I hit the I hit the when I was at the asphalt working on the asphalt plant, I hit the button one time. We had like up on the beside the window there, it had a button right there. Like you hit it, it shut the whole plant site, entire plant site, labs, shops, everything off. And I had hooked up my laptop up to the TV and watching movies and stuff because it was working overnight. You know, it was slow. So, but I reached up there and crawled up there to unhook it from to put it back in the regular computer that's the monitor is supposed to be working. And my head hit that fucking button and I shut the whole fucking plant site down. Just boom. Luckily, it was at the end of the night, so like nothing really, it didn't affect nothing. I just pulled it back out and went down there and had to hit that big fucking 500 amp, whatever the hell breaker, shut it back, everything back on. But yeah, I was like, ooh, if I had done that if I had done it with everything running, everything would have exploded. It would have blew.
This is what we like to refer to as an oops moment. Mm-hmm. Oops. And then quickly you go, oh shit.
That's the whoopsies.
Whoops. Man. So been a pretty interesting week, Ricky Pike.
And it's amazing. Like every week is like just
just the layers of the onion, you know. I mean,
Cat Williams is right. Everything's coming to light this year. I made that comment on my Twitter on a post, and everything's coming to light.
2024 is going to be the year that all truths will be told and lies will be undone. You know, and I think that one of the big indications that maybe that this might really be happening is the fact that RFK drops out of the race and immediately, you know, puts his support behind DT. But I think that was already coming, you know.
That one I saw coming. You could kind of see it, and there was rumors about it. The Tulsi Gabbard popping up on and joining Trump. That one surprised me.
So they are now part of the two of them are part of the presidential transition team. I heard some of the top pundits throw it around yesterday that, hey, you know, what if RFK runs the CIA? You know, or is over the FBI. I mean, personally, I think if DT gets back into office, that we're going to see a dismantling of the public agencies, like, you know, Homeland Security, ATF, FBI, CIA, NSA, all these different agencies that don't communicate with one another. They all have their own, astronomical budgets between each individual agency. Man, let's reel some of that in a little bit, man, and not work against each other.
You see, speaking of budgets and everything, you see Bongino get in front of Congress and go off about Secret Service. Said
Yeah.
he's like, you need to don't worry about it. They don't need to be worried about counterfeit money or counterfeit checks and all that crap. They need to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. And
and
there's
it's
plenty
still
other people who can do. There's plenty of other people who can do that job. And he's right. I mean, you got, like you said, you got all these alphabets, but Secret Service is looking for phony money. And why?
Not even that they're looking for phony money. Let's say that is a priority, and hey, let's say that ranks up here. The problem with all the agencies now is that over the last decade or so, they've all taken this approach that now the DEI format fits into place, where diversity, equity, inclusion, and now it's, let's make sure that we've got women leaders all throughout the organization. It doesn't matter necessarily what their background looks like, just as long as they're qualified technically to do the job and they're a woman. Boom. We gotta put these people up top. And people are gonna immediately come at me, but look at Memphis right now. CJ Davis, you look at our chief of police in Memphis that was fired from her 2 previous posts that she was at, and all of a sudden she's the leader of Memphis. Hey man, listen, let's put people in positions that have, the know-how to do the job, and not just because they check a box off, man. Y'all are going to come at me. I don't care.
You're not supposed to be hiring people just because for doing the best job anymore. That's not the way it is anymore. You're supposed to just your feelings. It's about feelings.
Do they check these 3 boxes off, bro? It's a crazy.
It's about world. Money and well, if you have so many of these people, and you get money, that's all it is. It's
right.
You get extra credits, and it's hypocrisy again, as always. But
I think it's a way for a particular political party to put people in individual silos. You got, and I've brought this up before, you got this silo, you got this silo, you got this silo, and I mean, if you want me to name them, you got the black silo, you've got the LGBT silo, you've got the tranny silo, really, which is its own silo over here. Then you've got the immigrant silo, then you've got the, strong working woman silo, then you got the guy that can't get off his couch because he's a pussy bitch silo, I mean, and none of these silos really jive well with one another, but they've learned to talk to them individually, and it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
On another thought process, and I know we'll deep dive into more with Zuckerberg. What do you think about Zuckerberg coming out?
A little late. Bro, look, I spent all of 2020.
What did they say?
2021, I was suspended from social media all fucking year. I was banned from Facebook. I was partially shut down on Twitter, where they were blocking me down on there. My headache with all that shit started on January 8th and went wild. Don't post anything about January 6th. Oh, wait a minute. He's got shit about hydroxychloroquine. Bro, let me tell you something. In 2022, I started getting suspensions for shit that I posted in 2020 about ivermectin, hydrochloroquine. Hey, maybe this shit really did come from Wuhan. Oh, fact checker. Boom, suspended. Bitch, what?
Shit, they're going back years before that with me. Hell, I never got suspended, but I got knocks where I was always to the very edge of, like, if you get one more, I'm like, well, stop looking at my ancient history here. Hell, leave me alone.
Hey, I was wild in my
And I
days.
mean,
Don't hold that
and
against me.
it's one of them things about it always piss you about Facebook. It's like if you turn around and see something on Facebook and you share it, you get in trouble.
Right.
It's like
Bro, let me tell you something.
I didn't make the post. I just shared it, and that don't mean I agreed with the post. You know, I don't
I
share
just
everything.
shared it. I just shared it. Right.
See,
I didn't comment. I didn't. Right. I know a
it's
guy
for
who
asking
lost
questions, right?
his job because of that. You know what I mean? He posted on his social media page. He shared something that somebody else shared, that through the timeline of sharing that comes across him, that he's like, hey, I'm going to share this image. And somebody got offended that he works with and took it to human resources. And my buddy got fired. And wow. What kind of here's an idea. If you're looking at something online and it goes, oh, my blood is boiling, maybe you just turn this shit off.
I know we had some people get fired where I used to work at. We had one guy get fired because he cut somebody off in a company truck, and then he turned around to go cuss them out, and they had their phone on recording, and or they might have went live, I don't know, but of course they had the logo of the company sitting there in the video.
Oh yeah,
it was lovely. It was lovely.
That's a great idea.
Like, you're going to do it, at least just go away, don't worry about it.
When you have to be
but don't go
aware
back
of your
and cuss the
surroundings.
person out. Like, okay,
right?
Especially nowadays, you're gonna get shot nowadays,
bro. You know what, dude? Listen, I am in the mindset of de-escalation to everything, because I don't want to shoot anybody, bro. And I'm, hey, listen, sorry, my apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Is everybody okay? No harm, no foul. My bad. Man, I'm not going to have an altercation in this city, bro.
I mean, you de-escalate until you can't no more. That's it. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You can't come across there with a chip on your shoulder and Billy Badass. I mean, you're gonna get killed or kill somebody and go to jail.
And in today's age, especially in the world of martial arts, you cannot. Some of these guys walk up on these little dudes and they push them around because they got them beat by 30 or 40 pounds and talk shit to them. I'm going to tell you, man, you snatch up the wrong kid, you snatch up 155-pound Ethan Birmingham, and he's going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I had a guy come in from college kid, come in probably about 230, built young man. He had muscles and stuff. And I turn around and look, and my 115 pounder is sitting there arm barring him. He's holding him. He's tapping him. Dude stood up with him, and he was holding on for dear life and just tapping him with an arm bar. And the guy had probably 100 and something pounds on him. humbling situation, man. Humbling. Jiu-jitsu will humble you. If anything, it will humble you completely.
Well, I mean, look at you, Ricky Pike. What do you weigh? $150, $160?
Yeah, 160.
All right, so me, for
5'7"
people that don't, right, and I'm, at one point was 6'2", 240, and Ricky could fold me up like laundry, bro. You know what I mean? And it's jujitsu, exactly, man. It's what a beautiful sport, because it can literally take somebody that doesn't have a big frame. And I've seen some of these women, man, and some of these little girls that are training, man. These kids have such flexibility in their bodies, man, where boom, you're in a triangle choke like that, and you're fighting for your freaking life with these kids, man. And what a sport, it definitely gives the advantage to the little guy.
It's beautiful. It really is. Like, I've always been underestimated. Always like, now I'm older. It's like, oh, look at this old guy. I ain't worried about this old guy. And of course, everybody like you get a new person, like, yeah, roll with Ricky here. Roll with Ricky. It's gonna be, he's just old guy. And I laugh, and they grab my neck and arm, and we lock up, and he's just looking at me. Wait a minute. I'm like, and I just smile at him. And
yeah, you're in trouble now. You
I
know what,
had
man?
a
I rolled with Paul Kimball the other day, and
that kid's a monster.
exactly. So, he immediately turtles, so that I can try to work, and he really lets me work. And that dude can dominate me, and he knows he can. And
No, he's an awesome young man. He's
I've got him in my guard, and I get over his shoulder, and I grab his arm, and I'm trying to yank his arm back, and I yank. And I yank again, and I look back, and he's just looking at me like, and then he takes his arm and he just forces it down. And he goes, boom, flat on the mat, straight out. And then he looks at me. So then I try for the other side. He does it again, just straighten back out. I'm like, man, and his arms, dude, are like,
oh yeah.
that dude ain't no joke, man. What a little monster, man. God. So I immediately have signed up for weight training now. I'm going to be working out with a professional bodybuilder this winter. So I can get some strength and conditioning training.
I started back lifting weights the first of the year. I was like, I had to do something,
Right.
And I feel better. Like I told JJ the other day, I was, one of the machines and stuff, and had, is for, you put a plate on, you pull back for working back. When I first started, I'd have one plate on there, and I was just everything I had to do a 20 rep. Like I'm just trying to do everything 20 reps. That's just
right
number in my head, and that's what I want to do. If I can do 20 with it, I'm doing it. And then I took a little bit of time not using it, and then I came back the other day and I grabbed hold of it, and I'm like, oh hell, I'm actually gaining a little muscle here because I am getting stronger. Hell, so it made me feel good, But yeah,
well,
I had to, like all these kids are getting younger and younger, and you getting these 6 foot. I mean, I had, all these 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2" college kids coming in there and 160, 170, 220, 230. I'm like, I had a, I had a fellow black belt message me about doing like a little 5-on-5 thing out there in Arkansas, and he said, well, you need to, uh, the limit was for 5 people, like 800 pounds. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I've been seeing those. Right.
I said, I can't do 800 pounds. So we don't have it.
I think it's 5 people, 900 pounds.
So they wanted to do 8, and I was like, Mike, I can't do 8. We're from
we all $160 around here.
Yeah, and that's with Aiden at 115. I mean, the rest of it was just. So, but yeah, we went up to like 850. So I think we're gonna do that. It's gonna be fun.
That's fun.
I forgot to turn in my names and weights. I forgot to do that.
You got to get that done, man. You guys got anything coming up, man? Y'all got any events coming up?
We Moose is gonna be TCB Oxford at
cool.
Down there at the Lyric. Very, very. If you've never been, for the local people, that's an awesome little venue.
It's a fun venue, man.
You can get up on the balcony and look straight down, and like it's awesome. It's an awesome little venue.
Cool.
And then once you get done with the fights, you can walk around the square there in Oxford with all the restaurants and shops and stuff. Or you get down there early. It's a cool little place. The following weekend, I got a couple guys going to do that smoker fight night. It's doing a little smoker, having some people hard sparring, basically. The ones that don't know what a smoker is, it's a glorified sparring match with people you don't know. Because they don't count on record and nothing like that. So I'm gonna have a couple guys try that out because we try to do experience, like, instead of throwing people into the fire, let's do a jiu-jitsu tournament. Let's get that stress of doing jiu-jitsu, and let's do the stress of having a boxing or kickboxing match. So now you just got feet and hands to worry about. And then once you do that, like, okay, now we'll put it all together instead of you just going here. Oh, you've been training for 2 days. Here we go. Go in here and fight this guy over here.
The smoker y'all are doing, is that kind of a kickboxing smoker?
Yes. Yeah, kickboxing. Okay.
Right on, man.
It's going to be the 14th. I forget what Witten Baptist Church, I think.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. SOG is putting that on.
Yeah, they were at the Black Lodge, but the Black Lodge closed, so they had to move the date and shuffle things around. But yeah, we're gonna have a couple people at least go in there and have fun. Like 2 2 minute rounds. I mean,
Right.
experience. That's it.
2 2 minute rounds. That's pretty good. I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
just
about it we got going on.
knock the adrenaline dump off, you know, and let them experience the adrenaline dump,
Exactly. I mean,
you
and
know.
having somebody really try to knock their head off that they don't know, and then have that stress of people watching, and you walking down, you got entrance music. I mean, that's people don't realize it, what it does, you know, the stress of being in the back waiting, you know, if you've never done it before, the stress of sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's time. And all of a sudden then you really stressing out. And then your music hits and everything going through your head, you know, it's a whirlwind of emotions, and you got to control all of this
Right.
and then go into
The
the cage.
adrenaline dump happens before your music even starts. Your body is just,
If you're brand new, yeah,
yeah,
and
you
for
know.
sure, you know.
That's why I like that 2 minutes, man. Just like I said, it gives them just enough to experience that adrenaline dump, you
And
know, and understand what that feels like, because the adrenaline dump is a battle in itself, you know,
mhm.
because you can literally gas yourself out in your first 60 seconds if you don't control that adrenaline, you know. And
Oh yeah, yeah. You be, you know, especially you get somebody swinging on you, and all of a sudden you're swinging with them, and you're just rocking, stocking robots, kind of, and then that gas tank's gone, and you got two people
right,
that want to get off the stool, like, come on, like, I'm tired. I'm like, I've been telling you, it's cardio, baby. It's different
right,
world. You know, you can go 10 rounds in the gym. That's, you know, that's tough, but it ain't the same as in the cage. It ain't the
right,
same as in the ring. There's a whole lot of other factors, and you know, and some people just gotta learn the hard way. You know, like I've seen that too. You know, like, hey, you gotta train 5 times more harder in the gym than you do going in the cage, because the cage is going to be so much harder. Just the mental drain of it, and
right. It's a complete different environment. You know, you've got a bit of a comfort zone in your gym because you know the people that you work out with. You know, at the end of the day, ideally, their job is not to hurt you; it's to be a good training partner. But when you step on that big stage under the lights, whether it's a boxing ring or an MMA cage, now it's a different situation. You know,
Mhm.
you don't have that comfort zone anymore, and the eyes are on you. So yeah, man. Good luck to all your dudes, man. They're coming up in that smoker, man. That's gonna be fun.
Appreciate it. Yes,
Good
it's
luck
going
down
to
at
be fun.
TCB this weekend too, man. Hope or next weekend. I'm sorry, dude. I'm
Yeah,
actually headed to. I'm going to Monroe, Louisiana this weekend. I'll be down there with the Delta Fighting Championship. We'll be live worldwide on Fight TV. Super
nice.
excited about. Dude, I love that venue, man. It is freaking huge, like arena. You know, it's freaking awesome. I wish we could fill that bad boy up, but it's growing every time we do a show, man. Every time we're there, I see more people there. So Monroe's got it going on.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep on. And, you know, word of mouth gets out there, and we keep on putting good shows on. People are going to come, and it's,
Right.
you know, what they say, that if you build it, they will come, and you know
Yeah.
that's true. You know, if you build it up, they'll come. You know.
Speaking of which, talking about getting lucky and building it, and they will come. I signed with another promotion down in Louisiana, the Titan Fight Club, or Fighting Championship. I need to figure out. I need to get their name right. Anyway, but September 20th, it's a Friday night show, and they do this. It kind of looks like a bar show in this real big venue that is. I think it's a club kind of atmosphere. I'm not sure. But real cool looking venue, man. I'll be there on Friday, and then Saturday morning, I'm getting up and flying to Tampa so I can go watch Brandon Gator fight for CFFC down there, and go be a part of his
Gator's
journey. And
Gator's a great young man too. He's another one. He's stand up community and does charity work. I don't think really people really knows all the things that Brandon actually does. If 'cause he really
Hey,
don't, he's real humble, and um, I've known him for so many years and stuff. Our work used to one of the charities he worked with, where I used to work at. They worked together, so I was out there working with on some of his charity work and stuff. And yeah, he's a great fighter and great person. Really,
I dropped
Brandon.
in on his jujitsu class the other day,
Nice.
and I was the charity case.
Yeah, he's solid now.
he
He no
just he
slouch.
just dominates me, man. Um, it's fun watching him roll with the guys at law school. Like when they have Cage does jujitsu there in the evenings after they get done with their striking class on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And Brandon will be training and then, does jujitsu afterwards. And to watch that guy, especially against another skilled jujitsu competitor, and to watch him float on top of somebody, like he'll have them straddled, and that person will be rolling under them, turning all kind of different directions, and Brandon is always maintaining that top sitting up dominant position, rolling with the guy, constantly moving with him, to maintain that position. And it's like swimming on a body, to watch him swim. It's just, man, so cool to watch. I got so much respect for that
That's
guy.
that's something hard that a lot of people don't. It takes a while for people to learn. That's I worked with my guys and gals on it before, and sometimes like you want to hold position, but if you hold too long, then they'll actually turn and put you in a bad position. But you just let them go, and like they push and like, all right, go that way, and then you slide. It's, like you said, slide and float, and then you take their back. If you're on mount, and sometimes you do need to, you know, it's the learning when to hold on and when to smash and pressure, and then when to let go and go. Okay, go ahead, turn for me, and then you just get your hooks and get on their back
Right.
and.
Just ride it,
Yeah.
boy. When I first started training jujitsu, Cage was messing with me one day. Jason Aldridge, for those of people that don't know, Cage Man, I call him Cage. Um, him and I are rolling, and he's doing his little funny Russian wrestler voice. You go this way, and he tries to roll me this way that he tells me which way I'm going to go, and I'm like, I'm not going. And I put my hand down and I stop myself from rolling, and I lean back into him, and he goes, all right. And then I got smashed, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go next time. Yes. Oh, that dude has so much pressure, man. My God. You know, there's a saying for anybody that wants to get involved in jujitsu, right? Pick a good partner, because there's no sense in rolling with a blue belt that's trying to be a purple belt that is, or a white belt that's trying to be immediately a blue belt, because that dude's gonna hurt you. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he don't know his strength. You get put in a bad position, you're gonna get hurt. Roll with somebody that's 2 or 3 belts above you. Somebody that's not trying to prove something, and just work. You're not gonna win. You're never going to win. Just accept that. Understand it's just an exercise, and you're never going to win. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it happens. I mean, it's learning, and it's a lot of people um on the jujitsu side. Like a lot of people, like, well, I got tapped this many times. Like it don't matter. I mean, just look at it's on your growth. You can't look at what everybody else is doing
Right.
because everybody learns at different speed. So it's all about, you know, um, I handed out some stripes the other day, and they were talking about it and everything. And I was like, well, just look about it and think about it. And all my guys are so humble. Like, man, I don't know if I deserve this stripe. I'm like, you do. If I give it to you, you do. I said, well, just look at it this way. Since the last time you got ranked, what would happen to that person that if you get to go back in time and and face your person that that were a year ago, what would happen? Well, I would dominate them. Like, yeah. So yeah, you earned a stripe.
Right.
You earn a rank. You know, And you always got to look back at that, in that process, like, okay, when I first started, what would happen to the same guy that, especially like now, me, 16 years ago, it'd be toying around and playing around, and it'd be funny to watch myself run out of gas, because that's what I would do. Because I was just like, all right, I'm going, and I'm strong enough, I can do it, and of course I was one of the smallest guys in the gym, so and I thought I could push muscle, and I learned that only lasts for so long, and then
Right.
and then one of the guys I trained with, Ryan, he told me, he's like, right, Ricky, you know how I get you? He's like, no, I'll wait till you run out of gas.
Right.
You try to push on me and muscle me. I said, hell, I'm 225, 230. And you're trying to match muscle with me. And then I just wait till you run out of gas. And then I take over. I'm like, huh. It made me think about it. I'm like, okay, maybe I do need to bring it. It's times when you need to do it and when you don't need to do it. But yeah, you're always looking at your own progression in the sport, for sure. What could you do? If you've been doing this for 3 years, what could you do to that guy 3 years ago or a
My
year
goal
ago?
right now is just not to get tapped.
That's always my goal.
like I'm just trying to survive. And if I can keep a 3-minute or a 5-minute roll and not get tapped, I feel like I got a little victory, But I try not to give up my neck, keep my shoulders up, keep my hands, but it never fails. Somebody's going to get my freaking neck, usually Cage Man, and then choke the piss out of me. It's
Nah, I hate being choked. That's what I'm known for. I got my chin down and I'll do both here
right,
and
hands up,
trying to break my arms. I'm like, nope. And I
I
remember
didn't
I
think
roll
about
my
that.
hooker. Yeah, this right here, this is my favorite right here. Just curl my hands and chuck my chin, and they can't get you in. They start grabbing their hands. I roll with Mike Hooker one day, and I sit there and I'll give it to my arm. Like, I don't want your arm. I want to choke you. I'm like, you're not choking me. Here, have my arm. Like after like 45 minutes of rolling or something, like here's my arm. Like, no, you. And of course, when he went for my arm, then I would, I defend the arm bar and come through there, and then it just keep on going and going and going. We had an hour and like 15-minute one roll one time.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Wow.
After 60 minutes, we stopped and we just stopped. And Chip looked at us and like, who tapped? Like, neither of us. We'll keep going. And then like we started like, well, here's my arm. Like, I don't want your arm. We just kept on still, and I forgot who caught who. We didn't even care. It really didn't. It was to the point like, man, we're just absolutely exhausted,
Wow.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, Lucy, if we get around each other, we usually wait till like the end of open mat, and then we'll roll because like we've been rolling with each other for so many years, and we know each other. I'm gonna do this, he's gonna do that, so I'll do this, and it's just it's always a fun challenge because we know each of our favorite sets of techniques we like to do, and our favorite fakes and our favorite everything. So it's like, okay, I do this, like I know you're going this way, and it's always 20, 30.
Well,
Unless
I'll
we
tell
set
you.
the timer, unless we just roll the timer. But if we're not
Right.
like just free rolling until whenever, yeah, you're looking.
Cage, when they start their rolls at the end of the class, these dudes all attack Cage with the intent that I'm tapping your ass today. You know what I mean? And Cage has to fight for his fucking life. And I never understood how the dude could eat complete shit and drink the Dr. Pepper that he does and never gain a pound. It's because he's burning 5,000 freaking calories in that sweat box known as law school MMA. I mean, man, you will break a full-blown sweat and increase your heart rate just standing there. Because it's so humid in that place, bro.
Oh yeah.
No heat, no AC. They work the elements, man, and they train. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Law school don't need a sauna. They are the sauna.
Yeah, for sure.
Memphis
Yeah,
Heat, bro.
man, we're on a second story, or we're on top of the building we're on. We're upstairs, and
Right.
yeah, well, all we gotta do is cut our air conditioner off, and that's sun coming down. It won't take long. Air's on for the kids class for the parents, and then adult class hits. It goes off, and it heats up in there pretty damn fast. We've had the
So
thermostat stay high. It just it
that
won't. It was like that's it. As far as
means
I
we're
can go.
done. That
Yeah,
means we're done.
I had to buy another thermometer to put above it before it could read above 96.
Wow.
And
Man,
that's only Sundays and stuff when JJ's fight camp. JJ,
right. I'd be dying, bro. I think I would be dying.
it keeps me in shape because I'm right there with it.
So check this out, man. I'm just kind of randomly scrolling through Twitter right now. Have you heard about what's going on in Aurora, Colorado? Apparently, there are a couple of apartment complexes there that have been taken over by this illegal immigrant gang. A lot of reports say that they're all Venezuelan, but I can't see any real official thing that shares it. But apparently, this is a pretty big deal in Aurora. It's on the local news there. These dudes are walking in businesses, guns drawn. Like, check this out, bro. Hold on. This is an actual story that broke yesterday or day before yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen a little on Twitter, but of course you ain't gonna see nothing on.
Right, you ain't gonna see it anywhere else.
Stoppers.
And really, a lot of the debate has been, is this the fault of the apartment management company, or is this the work of Venezuelan gangs? New information this morning, Aurora police teaming up with the CBI and the Colorado State Patrol to better address concerns about the violent Venezuelan gangs. Investigators believe some members are from Venezuela, gangs responsible for this jewelry store heist we brought to you. This happened in Denver earlier in summer. All three agencies now creating a task force which will allow them to maximize resources and share intelligence about the ongoing investigations. Mayor Mike Kaufman saying, and they've been talking about it for a while now, one of their initial goals is to engage and learn.
Bro,
I just need to do like that. I know you've seen that video of that gun shop where them guys come in there and try to rob a gun shop and they got blasted. That one dude had two guns, like he was Billy Badass, and that old dude behind the counter fucking cut him in half.
yeah. Hey, don't play with them old people, man. They will wax you. Here's a video from today.
Yeah, I hadn't get to see any of the good stuff from today. Dude said,
I mean, damn.
And like, oh, never mind. Let me get out of here.
I mean, what is going on? What a crazy world, bro.
It's
now
2024 has been it's just been all around, it's been a crazy year of just weird stuff happening, and then like stuff like that. It's just like violence and stuff like that. People just don't give two flying fucks anymore.
I don't know if you've
no other
heard.
word for it. They just don't. They'll cut you down in a second. I know a guy that got killed over $40 freaking dollars. Like, why?
Man,
what the hell? They don't no ass given anymore.
Well, Ricky, I just want to let you know that I think that some change is coming. Now, I don't know if you've heard or not, but we have a presidential candidate right now that is talking about building a wall She's talking about getting rid of these immigrants. She says that the wall is like one of the great. Kamala Harris says that building a wall is going to help us with the immigration problem. Ricky, did you hear that?
She has solved the problem. She has figured it out.
Remember when Trump said that shit and got labeled a racist?
Well, remember when Hillary said, she was okay with a fence. As long as you don't call it a wall, we can build a fence, but not,
I bet that bitch got a fence around her house.
Hell yeah. And armed guard and everything else, and the police and Secret Service. And
let me tell you what we're not seeing right now. So about 6 months ago, there were tons of video from these different reporters that were down at Eagle Pass in Texas at the border crossing there. They were down at, God, what's the name of the other place in Texas? And there was one in Arizona, 3 different places that are hotbeds for illegal crossings, right? And these dudes were covering, thousands of people a day coming over. All of a sudden, none of these guys, I don't see any of their reporting anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if they've run them off or what the deal is, man, but you would literally see these people being ushered. Well, then again, they don't even have to usher them anymore. Have you heard about the aircraft that had been chartered where they were literally flying them out of Central America into the U.S.?
It don't surprise me, no.
Am I the only one that has a problem with that? Come on, bro. The army is here. Literally, if you think about it, they have an army. They don't need to parachute in Red Dawn style. They've just come across the border and people clapped and applauded them. You know what I mean? They don't understand the concept of military age male. You've got all these 15 to 45-year-old men, and then kids that don't belong to any of them. Come on, man.
There's a lot coming across that northern border. A lot of people don't even think about it. There's a lot coming across there that it's just walking across like it's a joke. And they held me up over a nunchuck. SOBs.
You got jammed up over some nunchucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ricky. Tell me about this.
Oh, you hadn't heard it? I don't know if I told you this story.
I think maybe I've heard this, but I don't remember exactly. And I think the people would love this.
It's a funny story. I was up there in North Dakota, right there, real close, around Bottineau, North Dakota. Right there is a little bitty hole in the wall town. Awesome people though. They were the nicest people you ever met. I was up there and I went to work up there for about a month, and I remember I was waiting on my money to come like the next day, and I was like, man, I am broke, dude. Could you help me out? And dude was like, yeah. And he bought me. Didn't he know me? He knew me one day
and hooked you up. That's awesome, man.
And next day I gave him money and bought him lunch. I was like, yeah, here, man. But I was riding around. I said, because I always drive around. That's just my thing. I want to see how places are and go around. And so I was riding along, and I seen it's some kind of, I forgot what it was, the Freedom Park or it's something, but I didn't know it was in between freaking Canada and United States where it was actually at. So I was riding along, and all of a sudden, next thing I don't know, I'm stuck in damn line about to go across the damn border heading Canada. And so I get up to there, and they're like, well, do you have anything? We've never seen you before, blah, blah, blah. You never tried to cross. So we got to search your vehicle. I'm like, do you have anything to say? You got any weapons? I'm like, no, I ain't got nothing. I didn't know. I forgot I had my karate bag in my back of my, and all my stuff. And all of a sudden they pull out this bag, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a nunchuck in there. I guess if you're worried about it. And they pulled out this nunchuck, and they gave me the riot act. They were about to confiscate my vehicle. They were going to impound my vehicle, want me to pay all kinds of fines.
Were these Canadians or were they American?
They're Canadians.
Oh.
And they were like acting a freaking fool. And I'm like, it's a nunchuck. What are you going to do? Take over your effing country with a fucking nunchuck? And I'm like, And they finally they left me in a little room, and they come in there, and it was like on TV, you know, and a couple other people come in there and drill on me and try to ask me all kinds of questions, see if I'd crack or see if I'd change my story, and they leave, and two more fuckers will come in there. I'm like, I'm just driving around, you stupid fuckers. Y'all can, and they're like, well, what we'll do is like, you can say that. How much did a nunchuck cost? I was like, $10 fucking dollars. Or something. I don't know. It wasn't much. So, well, you can just leave it and say it's not yours, it's nobody's, and we'll destroy it and blah blah blah, and leave it to the crown. I'm like, that's fine. And so I turn around and I'm like, fine. And like, but after all, they like you just go around and go back into the United States. Like, okay, I hooked that freaking loop and went back and hit our embassy. They're like, well, do you have any fruit? I said, you sorry motherfuckers, you seen the back of my car up there for the last 2 fucking hours. You know I ain't got no fucking fruit. And I was mad. I swear I was like, I ain't got shit. I've been sitting right there. You see my car. And they kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and then they just let me go on, but I was like, man.
Wow.
But it was some beautiful country up there. I'm just glad I got out of there before it got cold. But
I got jammed up in Detroit. Man, so I went across the border into Windsor, Canada, to go buy a chip at the casino. And I literally cross the border, go to the casino, buy a chip, have a Dr. Pepper or a Coke, get back in my vehicle and drive right back across the border. Well, getting into Canada was easy, getting through Canadian customs, Getting back into the U.S., they wrote me the riot act. It doesn't make sense that you were only in country for 45 minutes and they searching my car, and I'm a trainer. So I've got in my trunk of my car, I've got like my laptop bag, a projector, whiteboards to write on and shit, and they've got that stuff all pulled out in the parking lot, all spread out in the parking lot. I'm like, bro, I went and bought a casino chip. Well, why? I'm like, I collect chips. They couldn't fathom that I went into and I stopped at Tim Hortons. I stopped at Tim Hortons, and then they were like, well, you could have stopped at a Tim Hortons in Detroit. I'm like, but it ain't a Canadian Tim Hortons now, is it? Bro, they were such fucking dicks. And then the dude thought I was filming him. And I'm like, no, I'm not filming you, bro. I'm looking at my fucking phone to figure out what I just did wrong. I'm trying to Google some shit, man. I'm like, cut me some slack. I'm sitting there doing nothing, Yeah. You've already got my shit pulled out. You got dudes standing around me with fucking machine guns. I'm like, I went and bought a casino chip, man.
That's crazy. And they do that to you, and they did that to me. But there's a influx of fucking 100,000 people,
Hey, listen. Next time I go to Cancun, I'm going to beat the express line, and I'm just going to fly to Tijuana and sneak across the fucking border.
Be easier. Hey, you remember that old movie, Born in East L.A.?
Oh, my God, dude. Fucking Cheech and Chong. Yes.
Yeah.
No, man. I was born in East L.A.
He's like, how the hell are we going to get you back over here?
Great
that was
movie.
Great
movie.
They should redo that for today. That'd be funny.
Dude, you come on. You're not allowed to make fun of race in that regard.
It's like Blazing Saddles. There's no way in blue hell.
Greatest fucking movie ever. I
don't know how they're going to do the sequel to Spaceballs. I think just Mel Brooks is like, hell, I'm almost. I don't got many years left anyway. I don't give a rat's ass. He's just going to raise hell and start shit.
In that world, he's part of Hollywood. They can do what they want, and they do. So,
Oh, for sure.
I'm not going to get us kicked off Twitter. YouTube. So I'm just going to stop. But we know who runs Hollywood. They're
Drewish.
Ah!
Drewish.
Ah!
You can't. Well, space balls.
They're Druis. Dude, that is the funniest fucking movie ever. And like the Jew jokes that he makes throughout that entire fucking film. Oh, he's so funny,
It's
man.
hilarious, you know. If you can't make fun of yourself, who can make fun of you? Kind of deal, you know. And
Dude,
he,
you know, like
he's a genius.
Kill Tony. Thank God that those guys are doing the kind of comedy that they're doing right now. Because they don't care about your race, they don't care about your gender, they don't care about your fucking pronouns or your handicap or anything of the sorts. Everything is on the table and nothing fucking matters. You know what I mean? And I think that's how comedy should be, man. Because if we can't sit here as human beings and laugh and joke and pick fun at stereotypes, you know, come on, man.
Yeah, it's fun. I like watching the clips of it. I'll be sitting there watching them across Facebook, and I'll pull it up every once in a while, watch the whole thing. But how the clips are good enough for me, you know.
Yeah, they're
All the
good,
crazy
man.
guys they got on there. What's this guy named Cam? I think I like rocks. Crazy.
Yeah. So what they've done, I guess my understanding of who they are, I don't know a lot about them. I do. I catch a couple of their shows. They run that full-time podcast and that full-time show out of whatever comedy room that they do it in, and they just invite
It's
random.
Joe Rogan's down at Austin.
Is that where it is in Austin?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they just bring different people through, man, and they give everybody a chance. You know, I don't know if I could ever get on there. You know, I got a guy right now talking to me about a comedy show in Memphis in October. He wants me to put me on this just a showcase show. Basically, it's going to be like 8 comics all doing 15 minutes each.
That's cool.
So yeah, it'll be fun, man. A little 2.5 hour program.
I tell my buddy.
He goes, hey, listen, this promoter's being real picky, man. Do you have any video you can send him? And I'm like, no, bro. He goes, really? He goes, you don't have any stand-up video? I go, no. When I got my corporate job at headquarters, I went through social media and whitewashed everything. I got rid of every piece of comedy material I ever uploaded because I was so afraid that my boss would see some video of me talking about working in a strip club, about bitches and whores and doing cocaine, and all of a sudden I wouldn't have my corporate level job anymore. So I whitewashed all that shit, Ricky, pulled it all down.
Damn.
Then, after the fact, discovered that I should have kept it up because the fact that I excelled and made it to the corporate level that I did is a hell of a story for people to be inspired by. And now I feel bad and ignorant that I went back and deleted all that shit. You know,
Yeah, you could have saved it somewhere. I mean, like,
I was paranoid, bro. Paranoid.
So,
and here's what happened. Here's the night that made it happen. I was an executive casino host, and I had just taken one of our corporate trainer jobs, and I had been out of town for a week on a business trip. I come back in town, and when I come back in town, I'm off that weekend, and I do a comedy show in Jackson, Tennessee at the South something South Comedy Club. Anyway, that next week, I'm gone again for a corporate trip, and I come back in town on Friday night to take this group of our high-end players at the casino to dinner with our general manager. So I'm sitting there with my general manager, his parents, and 10 of our top-level guests at the casino, when the woman sitting in between my boss and his mom tells the joke that I told that Friday night verbatim, word for word, at the fucking dinner table. And I was like, I'm fixing to get fired. I am about to get fired. So, yeah, I immediately started scrubbing all my shit, man. I was so worried I was going to get canned. You know, and everybody's like, holy shit, Jamie, you do stand-up comedy? I'm like, yeah, I've been doing that shit for like, at the time, it was only like 15 years. You know, I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for a minute, you know? So, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Should have left it all up. That's me being paranoid, bro.
It happens.
You
It
know,
happens.
trying to set a good
I gone
example.
to my friend. You might have seen some of his stuff. A little Shirley's boy. He does a stop at white people and jokes, and he does a bunch of stuff. But and then he'll do. He likes making fun of them goons that come in like, well, if I broke in your house, what would you do? And he'd be like, 911. Hey, you need to come get this guy. I just shot him 26 and a half times. Like and a half, like, yeah, a half.
I grazed him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's hilarious. I've known him for years and years and years.
That's
So
fucking funny, man.
man, he's on TikTok. He's got like 500,000 followers and stuff like that on
Oh,
TikTok.
nice. You know,
And
I
every
have
time he
not
gets up, like
utilized.
they F him and knock his page down for a little bit, and he'll do another and build it back up because he'll say something they don't like, and he'll have to go all the way back down and shit. But yeah, he's a good dude.
That's awesome, man. I need to really utilize social media more. I met with a friend of mine. Chick's a professional bodybuilder, and I was having a conversation with her about how to utilize her social media feed to really build her business. And then as I'm having this conversation with her, telling her what she should be doing, I'm looking at myself going, Jamie, you're lazy as fuck. Like, I know what I need to be doing. I'm just not doing it.
It's easy. It's easy. It's wonderful. I was talking to somebody the other day about that. I was like, they were asking me questions about relationships and what like talking about somebody, and they thought the guy was giving them mixed signals and stuff like that, and I just gave my point. I was like, yeah, I'm usually pretty good on spotting for other people. I'm terrible on my own now. I'm absolutely
right.
Unless somebody hits me with a freaking brick or something in my side of my head and go, hey, I like you. I kind of, I don't know. I'm imagining things, but
Right.
but looking out my eyes at somebody else or stuff like that, or seeing a different situation, hell, I'm usually pretty spot on a lot of times, and it's amazing how sometimes you need to turn it on yourself kind of deal and say, hey, this is what you need to do too. But it's just human nature is you rather help other people than help
Procrastination,
yourself.
man. Right.
Oh yeah, I'm the king. I come from a long line of procrastinators too. It's generations.
What hurts me professionally is that, again, I know what I should be doing. I know the steps I should be taking social media wise to really build my following and gain some ground, right? But for me, I just don't have the motivation and the consistency to do it, because I would rather be out here trying to do something with somebody else and trying to help somebody else than sitting down and actually ironing this shit out on my own, and I guess I keep waiting to find somebody to put the energy into me that I put into other people. And if I ever find that connection, my God, fireworks are going to happen, but yeah, maybe I'll find somebody to match my energy one day, man. And
No, for sure. They say there's somebody out for everybody, and hell, you know, you
like
do
in
have
my
to have that
mind, man,
same
like I keep
that
thinking maybe
same.
one day I'll meet the right person that knows a little bit more about marketing than I do, and they need help with this, and I can help them with that, and but yeah, I haven't found it yet, yeah, dude, is this what I think it is? It sure is.
What you got?
Wow. So I just watched this crazy video of this dog being shot by a police officer. Cops under a lot of fire, but I just saw the body cam footage of it. And man, the dog came at him and snapped at him a couple times and then lunged at him again. Cop plugs the dog. Here's an idea: get your dog on a fucking leash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Though I seen sometimes that on those, like they'll, the dogs will be in the yard and they'll come in the yard and
Right,
the dog is doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to protect the yard and protect the owner, and they
right,
don't
right.
know the
I
difference
agree.
between police and non-police, and the dog is doing what it's supposed to do. It's protecting its owner, and they kill it over that too. That's a sad. It's just doing what it knows it's supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, dog's got his teeth out, man. It's a crazy situation looking at this video, and yeah, he's pretty aggressive. And apparently you learned that the reason the cops were there is because a call had gone out about 4 dogs acting very aggressively, right? So the cops get called, and this is the first thing that the cop deals with when he gets there. You know what I mean? So, man, granted, you're a grown ass man that could have grabbed that dog by the damn throat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kicked it side of head and like get out of
Right,
here.
right. I think I'd have probably handled the situation a little bit differently, but yeah.
You never know. It's one of them
Right,
things.
right. I mean, what's the worst that that dog is gonna do? Nip at you and bite you? You'll be okay, bro. You know, you'll be okay.
Yeah, now some
I
little
don't
kid
know.
lost his best friend.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Um, and again, you're right. Ideally, I want my dog. That if my dog's in the yard with my kids and somebody comes up in my yard, I want that motherfucker to let them know, hey, get out of my yard. And maybe, that should be the standard for an officer. Listen, if I'm in the street and the dog charges me, all right, I'm gonna plug your fucking dog. But if I go onto your property and the dog is defending the property, man, I mean, now there's some.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in a fenced-in yard, if the gate was closed, it was in the yard. It's got to be a different variable on that one.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah, all these
Has to
different
be,
different situations, man. I mean, how about a little empathy and common sense? Let's apply that to everything.
common sense. That's against the law.
Listen, I saw a meme. I saw a meme the other day that said, "You can never change the mindset of somebody who can't justify or can't. You can't change the mindset of somebody that don't know their identity." So some of these people that are so far to one side or another that they can't believe or that they understand that all of a sudden this man can be a woman or this woman can be a man. You will never change that person's opinion politically because they're already fucked up in the mindset. And I'm sorry, man. You can't be a dude and be fat and disgusting and wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm a chick now and I'm a lesbian and I'm fat, so you have to accept me. And if you don't and I cry about it, you're all racist.
And bigots.
Well, it's racism season. The election's coming up. Everybody's gonna be labeled a racist or a bigot or a.
No matter. It's gotta. You gotta have a. There's gonna be an adjective on everybody, no matter if true or not. You see? Speaking of true or not, I don't know if you've seen or not. Did you see? Was it MSNBC took footage of Joe Rogan talking about Tulsi Gabbard and twisted it and made it look like he was talking about Harris. And he was pissed.
No shit.
Like somebody asked him, like, "You gonna sue?" He's like, "No, I ain't gonna sue." But it just shows you the manipulation.
Oh, dude, here it is. It's 2 minutes long. Hang on, let me pull this up so the people can see. Oh yeah, people need to see this.
Yeah, they're using. He was talking about
manipulation,
especially because he made a comment about her being a medic and stuff. But here you go. You can listen to it there.
that for sure. So there's a business in that, and then there's also people that are doing, like MSNBC did this recently, and this has gotten so popular that my fucking stepdad contacted me to tell me he's happy that I'm suing MSNBC. I'm like, I'm not suing MSNBC, but this is what MSNBC did. They took a clip of me talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and they edited it up and made it look like I was saying great things about Kamala Harris.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been mashed up on other stuff and AI, and I don't want to, like you said, we don't want to draw attention that they got taken off the internet, thank goodness, but it was bullshit. It was like it was AI and mashup.
Yeah, there's a lot of
AI
AI
did that
ads
about,
with us.
They did that about politics.
Yes, they did it about politics, but they didn't do it like AI. They just deceptively edited the things that I was saying, took it completely out of context, where I was talking about, first of all, I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and then I was talking about that the media behind Kamala Harris, all this surge and all these people just deciding that she's good, she could win. And they put the two of those together and made it seem like I was praising Kamala Harris and saying a bunch of things that aren't even true about her. Like I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard being a congresswoman for 8 years and about how she served overseas, 2 deployments in medical units, dealing with people who were blown up from the war. Like, that's not something Kamala Harris did. It's something Tulsi Gabbard did. I was just saying things about her, and they put it out there as a clip of me praising Kamala Harris. But they don't care about the truth. They just want a narrative to get out there amongst enough people, because most people are just surface readers, right? They read a headline, and I'm guilty of that many times. You read a headline, oh, I know what that is, and then you shut your laptop. I got it now. I got the whole. So if you read an article that says, you know, Andrew Schultz is a liar, like, oh, he's a liar. I heard he's a liar, and then you just start repeating he's a liar. It doesn't have to be real. And so all they have to do with, so like, how many people are actually going to watch my Netflix special? Well, it was a lot, but compared to the amount of people in the country, not a lot, you know, small percentage. So all you have to do is take something out of context from someone who's never going to watch it in the first place, put it in front of them, like, oh, that piece of shit. Can't believe he said that. Even though I'm literally talking about things being taken out of context.
The part,
bro. You know, and they've been doing that. You know, that's been the game. They did it with Trump years. Through his entire presidency. You know, the soundbite game is let's take a snip, just a fraction of a speech this big, and paint this person with that identity based off these 6 words.
Yeah,
but not give you the full context.
And now the scary part is they got AI. You could make you look like that's who it is and talk just like them and everything else, and like, and you see that all the time. You see all like you said. There's somebody that just see articles. I did hey, like me back when I was a kid. Have you ever read the Huckleberry Finn?
I've not.
The classic, you know, book and everything. Well, I did a book report on it. I didn't read the book. I took the chapter titles and made the book report out of using the chapter titles and just use it to whatever it said on the chapter title and use my imagination and expand it. Well, if you read Huckleberry Finn, each title is basically opposite. Like he was talking about, hey, he's you know, such friend. He's obviously he's not his friend, whatever. Everything it was. They said the way the title was worded, but it's actually the opposite is true. And so all through the whole thing, I took the chapter's title and I spun it in my own little way.
That is crazy, bro.
And the teacher gave me a D for effort. She's like, I'm gonna give you a D. My mom was furious, absolutely ape shit furious, because why? I'm like, I just didn't want to do it, you know. And it's easy to throw something together, but yeah, I sure did. And it's the same way you see it all the time. Like you see any kind of article, and most articles you see on news reports, on newspapers, magazines, you know, whatever the article, the title, like even like YouTube videos, they'll do that. They'll we're going to close the shop, just to get you to click on the video and see that they're not closing the shop, they're just talking shit, and so if you just take the context of just reading whatever the title is and run with it, you have no knowledge of what the hell is going on whatsoever, because it's all it is clickbait. But you see it all the time. Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen it the other day. It was such and such. And I'm like, what? It's like tell you a crazy thing I seen the other day, and I was like, well, but me on the other hand, I see something crazy, I get on DuckDuckGo and go, all right, let me see what the hell
let's see what I can find here.
But during the Forrest Gump, I'm gonna blow people's minds, and I'm gonna make people look at it up. Whoever's listening, if you go watch Forrest Gump, and the scene where he gives Jenny his medal, the Medal of Honor, and turns around and she's leaving, and she gives him a peace sign. Well, when you watch him, he does a peace sign, and then he does one down below.
Right.
So he was, as of down below, like he was doing the Moloch or whatever, satanic symbolism, and it only happens for like a second. Like if you watch you can go like on YouTube and just watch clips of the movie, right? And you can
there's different compilation videos of people inside the Capitol building on the congressional floor that are making symbolisms with their hand, whether it be, whatever it is they're doing, initially, you go down some of these rabbit holes and you go, man, maybe it's all just a conspiracy. Maybe all these hand signs are just a conspiracy. But then you start seeing people doing it across various right. Yeah, I've seen this, right. Across various facets, whether it be politics or whether it be entertainment and, hip hop or music or movies. And
lots of entertainers, you see them all the time. They're sitting there and they'll do that. And sometimes you'll see somebody go, Kelly Clarkson one time was talking about some of the stuff, and then Kevin Hart was right there, and he was like, shh,
right.
Shut up. Like trying to get her quiet down. I'm like, it's to be the upper echelon, you got to do some terrible things. And if you got to, whatever you got to do. I don't know if it's true or not, but since this is talking with conspiracy, we can go throw a conspiracy theory right on out there and to see if it hits the wall. You see Mariah Carey's mama and sister just died on the same day, but there's video out there showing them talking about how she had like they were sacrificing little kids and stuff for their fame and everything. And they actually whistleblowed about it, and then turn around. It wasn't long after they're gone. But
do you remember when Joan Rivers made a rather bold statement about Michelle Obama and then died of old age like a week later?
Yeah, it wasn't long. Yeah, she
man, you almost wonder if, come on, man. I don't even wonder anymore. I know some of these dudes are being taken out. You see these movies where guy breaks in a house. He's holding a guy basically hostage with a gun, and he tells him, "Hey, you're going to write this suicide note and kill yourself, or I'm going to murder your entire family in front of you and kill you anyway. So what are you going to do?" And the dude offs himself because he don't want his family to die. You know what I mean? And I believe stuff like that happens.
No doubt. Especially, if you cross a certain individual that tried to run for president, if you cross that certain individual, it's happened several times. It's scary and thought. I seen a video. Guy was, man, who was that? Man, damn it! It's been a while back, but dude got was signing a contract and trying to get his son to sign, and his son was like, "Man, I don't want to sign. Like, you got to sign. You got to sign." He pushed his son to sign, and hell, a few days later, his son was dead. It's like, did we just see the signing of a contract that, like he had to sacrifice his son? Whatever to show the power to be, is to get to that upper echelon. They don't want to accept being halfway or middle person or whatever. They want to be up on top, and it's the more you see it, the more it looks like every one of the upper echelon,
they're all involved in
celebrity
it.
is all together and just evil.
It's a big party, bro. It's just a big club, and they're all in it. I truly believe right, but a different level though. But a different level. I think Epstein's alive. I don't believe for a second that they killed that dude. I think had they truly killed him, that more people would have been outed. I think the reason all those files haven't been released is because the dude is alive.
I think it's just so many powerful people that's on that list, and they're locking that son of a bitch down. There's just too many people that's on them lists. There's too many people that just guaranteed there's not going to be able to. I mean, and truly, they absolutely released that list, and the shit hits the fan. It's going to rock this world. Absolutely. I know, there's so many people are just obsessed with all these celebrities and this person, that play. Man, their world is going to be over in their mind, because I thought this person was such a great person. I thought he was just this, he was that, or she was this, or she was that. And they're going to find out they're evil pieces of shit that fucking kill their children and their mama and everybody else to stay in the power of the bees, and get to a level of superstardom, and because I mean, hey, money and power is one thing, but man, your morals and your living with your regrets, and you see so many people committing suicide and stuff like that, and it makes you wonder, like, man, is it just guilt from all the stuff they had to do over the years, or there's that video Angelina Jolie was talking about all the stuff all the secret stuff and everything they had to do, and when she was in her 20s, and it's just like what the hell?
Oh, dude, I can't remember which actress. There's some video floating around of her talking about some shit she had to do. God, who is that?
You run into them every once in a while. They'll pop up, and
I just keep hoping Cat Williams is right, my guy. That all the lies will be undone. And he's been talking about this shit for years. It's not like he jumped on some train. He's been calling this shit out for years.
It's just he got on, Club Shay Shay show, and it's so popular and so big, and
bro,
and it turned around and just dropped the bomb on everybody. And I tagged him in a damn post the other day. Man, because I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, the truth is coming out. And you got Zuckerberg talking about how the Biden administration had them censorship people and all, and
they censored them for various things, and people need to really understand this. They censored them for the Hunter Biden laptop story. They censored them on the Wuhan story about the origins of COVID. They censored them on ivermectin, hydrochloroquine. You had posts that were immediately being taken down by AI that had any verbiage in it that had to do with any of those drugs. If you mention the word ivermectin or any variants of that word, spelled it wrong or anything, bro, you got a ban. You
Well,
know,
and even Joe Rogan, they were talking so crazy about him.
right?
And what's that?
Don Lemon.
Not Don Lemon, the other.
Oh, the other one.
Cuomo.
Chris
Cuomo?
Cuomo. Right. Yeah, he roasted his ass.
Man, he was over here talking about like, oh, I'm taking it now. It's okay. And like, well, why don't you apologize to Joe Rogan? I forgot who it was.
Well, it's a different context or whatever the fuck he said. Come on.
And like
bro.
and he never said he was taking,
Horse dewormer.
Like,
Hey,
and
bro.
I had friends on Facebook. If they see it on here, like, hey, they were saying the same thing to me. I'm like, it won a Nobel Peace Prize. It won a damn award for being.
You cannot. You
like,
can't
how did
talk sense to these people, bro.
Some people you can. Like, it's like what? It's like it won a Nobel Peace Prize for helping so many millions of people. But you're turning around like, well, it's dewormer. It's because the media has told you it's dewormer.
Here's what I think.
The media is taking it. It's okay. It's like I mean, it is like little sheep. A lot of people get mad about it. You hear people say that, but
I think some of these guys are so. I think some of these guys are so brainwashed and sold on the idea that everything that comes out of that TV is real, that no matter what level of evidence you give somebody, they're never going to see it as real. It's always going to be Donald Trump, orange man, bad, racist, white supremacy, whatever keyword at the moment is that time, because they're so far gone. And I used to be mad at these people. I used to think, how can somebody be that ignorant? But now I had to change my mindset because I feel sorry for some of these people, because I realize that these politicians prey on people that do not have an ability to think for themselves. And they've been guided like sheep. I feel sorry for these people.
So you see Don Lemon going around, and he was going around the Bronx and was talking to all the people, and
I'm voting for Trump.
And he was like, and then he had to go back, and they're like, well, how did it go? He's like, he was over there stuttering on TV, and he was like, they really don't know who Harris is, and you're voting for Trump. Like it was absolutely insane. Like he had to tell it. Like he was. Because
so there. All right, here it is.
So many people. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, there's so many people that, like, you're not falling for the BS. I mean, that's probably why they're shipping so many people in right now, is because so many people aren't falling for the BS, and so they have to bring in the new base.
So here's two videos I want to show you. The first one is some of this interview that actually, I think they're in New York is where they are.
Yeah, I think the Bronx.
Yeah, let's just watch this minute 20, and then we're going to go into him being roasted for doing this.
How are you feeling about the election?
I'm going for Trump. I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody black in our face thinking that's going to make us vote for the black person.
I voted for Obama because he was black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald Trump.
Why do you apologize?
Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been a fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, but I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change, and now I vote more for what fits me better as a person, rather than
identity politics
or voted for the first woman. So
identity politics.
I think they say she's phony and fake. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like Trump saying, what are you? So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it. I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
I'm going for Trump. Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
Right? So you've got that video. Then he immediately goes on with Jen Psaki. And this is an interesting exchange if you've not seen this.
Was there anything? What did they think about Harris? Did they have anything to say about her?
They did have. Listen, it depends on where you are. We went to a number of different battleground states in Pennsylvania, Ohio. We were in Michigan, Indiana, on our way, obviously, Illinois, on our way to Chicago. And it sort of depended on where you were. Pennsylvania, well, I shouldn't say Pennsylvania, I should say Philadelphia, was a bit more liberal, and the answers to the questions about her and him were quite different. But for the most part, in Pittsburgh or in the Jersey Shore and in Atlantic City, in Ohio especially, many people did not know who she was, right? They weren't familiar with her. So I think she has to reintroduce herself to the public. But for him, I think that they thought that he's better for the economy. And that, again, that he gave them, that he brought money into the community, and or that he was on Black people's side.
Was there?
Did you see the look on her face?
She's like, ooh. Yeah.
So defeated, bro. You know,
You see videos like that, and I seen one where they were asking, like, what's your favorite Harris policy?
They don't
like, no, nothing. They're like,
I don't feel comfortable speaking to you anymore.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Either leaving or like, I don't know. Yeah. No, nobody could. None of them, of course. It just, I'm sure there was some that could say something, but they didn't post them.
But they didn't, right?
But the ones that they did show, and it, most of the people can't,
Bro,
because there's so much misinformation out there. They made her the immigration czar, where the hell it was, and then they turn around and now they're saying, oh, she wasn't a czar, even though it's still, all you gotta do is a quick Google search and it's on their website.
She was in charge of the freaking border.
The border czar. That's the actual terminology. But and they turn around and like, you can go to the same news outlet and turn around and go in their archives and find articles saying what they're saying, that's what she was. Like, just the misinformation is so drastic this year, and I think more and more people are actually waking up to it. On all sides, it's like, and now maybe that's why you're seeing a lot more moderate leftists coming on over to.
Well, I wouldn't,
because you see it more and more because they're.
I wouldn't call them lefters. I wouldn't call them lefties, though. I think that you're seeing more modern Democrats, because I grew up as a Democrat, poor white trash from Arkansas. My mama worked for Bill Clinton when I was a kid. You just were a Democrat, right? And it took me growing up and becoming an adult and really learning about the way the human mind works and the way they trick us into thinking what we want, what they want us to think. And leftists are ideologically gone. You know what I mean? But Democrats, I believe, aren't bad people. I truly don't.
Extreme. They put the extreme on both sides. That's who they put on the news. You see the extreme on both sides. You see the far radical rights. You see the far radical lefts, and that's who they want to push in front of the TV and act like this is who the parties are. And most times, most moderates on both sides, they come together. Everybody gets along. It's all the radicals are the ones that actually are all over the place. I'm kind of also, I was, raised, Republican and stuff, and always, and then after, which we've talked about before, but after 9/11, it started making me ask questions, and I just kept on asking questions, and made me do my own thing. Really, Dave asked me about it when I first talked to him on the phone about coming on and stuff. And I was like, I lean right. I said, but I'm no extremist whatsoever. I'm kind of middle riding independent, really, if you wanted to label me, I guess. But I don't trust none of them. I'll be honest. I really don't. None of it.
I like to
You
think
see
that
so
I'm from
much
the
stuff
common
about it,
sense boat.
after all the stuff happened with 9/11, and then and then the Boston bombing happened, and all this other stuff happened, and then you go back and then start the declassifications, with the Tompkins Bay incident and how they wanted it to go and attack Cuba and frame Cuba, and they've been going on, and possibly even there's conspiracies that even Pearl Harbor might have been inside to push us into the war. I've seen those. It's like, and nothing would surprise me whatsoever. After that happened, it actually put us into being a superpower.
Right.
And and then the military industrial complex took off and run for the horses, and run for that finish line, and now every time there's anything around the world, we're like right now we're selling Ukraine we're giving them money and then selling Ukraine all our old F-16s and shit like that, and all our older stock weapons. It's like, and then we over here gave 200 and something trillion, billion, whatever it was, to ISIS accidentally.
Right. Accidentally.
That when all that stuff was going on, and then made me question everything on that, because they were like, well, we were helping Al Qaeda. I was like, well, why are we helping Al Qaeda? Well, they're the good Al Qaeda. They're our friends. They're not bad Al Qaeda. I'm like, what? They're like, wait a minute. And like I said, that little stuff like that, little tidbits, I gravitate towards them, like little details. It's like, like with my jujitsu and stuff, some little details that makes a difference.
I found
little
video
angles and stuff.
I found video from 2014. So first of all, I was a proud voting Obama supporter. Obama gonna save the country. Man, I knew it in my heart. Obama was the man. All my problems were gonna be over. And then 2012 happened, and the whole Arab Spring, North Africa, Middle East thing went down, man. And I really paid a lot of attention to what was going on in the Middle East. And very early into Aleppo, I was finding footage from the Syria-Turkish border where Turkish soldiers are offloading U.S. munitions to ISIS soldiers. What? How does any of this make sense, right? So the video apparently was taken from a Russian surveillance mission. So immediately everybody tries to discredit the video, but I've seen the video. The video exists, right? And they're like, well, how do you know that they're U.S. crates? Bitch, they say U.S. government on the crates, okay? So you see that kind of stuff going on, and then you find out that secretly, man, through these NGOs, that we're funding a lot of this stuff over there, and there's a lot of questions and accountability that needs to be asked and had, as to why some of these weapons and all these vehicles and shit gets just handed over to these people, I mean, you literally just rearmed an entire terrorist organization, that we had kind of broken. Hey, thanks for all the new gear, Obama. It was really Biden, but we know who it was. Thanks, Obama. That was always the running joke at work. Thanks, Obama. God.
Yeah, we would, like I said, we've talked about it on here. Like I said, I was already doubting everything. When I knew Obama was going to win, probably man, that's a talking machine right there. He's got the gift of getting people to listen and believe in what he says and everything. He's gifted. But when you look back, for the ones that hadn't heard this, if you look back at Obama and Mitt Romney, they were the same person. The same companies were backing both of them. If you look back and see who sponsored and who was backing them, like it was
financially, they were
financially
the same
backing
person, right?
their campaigns, and you can look that up with ease. It was a lot of the same companies on both sides, so it didn't matter who got in.
But see, Ricky Pike, what it takes is a speaker that can deliver a message. See, because not everybody has the ability to deliver the kind of message that needs to be delivered, that gets through to the American people. That's
for sure.
That's what he had going for him. He was a dynamic public speaker, and he sold me.
I think that's part of it. And truly, they didn't care who got in there because they was backed by the same people. And I kind of agree. We hadn't had a truly. I think since JFK got killed, everybody's been on the run, and has to do what they're told to do. But I think they wanted to use it too. They knew there's a lot of ignorant people in this world. There's a lot of ignorant people, and there's a lot of people that would look at it, and for the race thing, and it would divide a certain group of people for him being mixed or black or whatever. They knew that would cause division, and they do not want everybody coming together whatsoever. They want us divided. So which one is better to lead? One they know will be able to divide some of the people, or the other guy, you got the same person basically. You got Romney Care, Obamacare. You got the same health insurance thing that they want to do. They both want the same policies. For all my 20s, for most of my life that I've paid attention, it's always been I'm voting for this person because it's a lesser of two evils. For the love of God, we don't need lesser of two evils. We don't need lesser of two evils. We need a change then. If all we get is evil,
right?
Well, I don't like that person, but I really don't like this person either. But I don't like this person better. I'm like, it's crazy, absolutely crazy to think about, and that's what I've looked at for years. And like I said, the more you dig and more you jump off that little rabbit hole of conspiracy, and you see they keep on coming true. And a lot of them turn out to be right. Like, even crazy ones like Alex Jones and the frogs turning gay, now it's they know it's true. It's all the pills and everything of the women taking the estrogens and all that kind of stuff, getting in the water supply, and it's changing the frogs and changing the
Astrazine. How do you let's see.
Don't give me a line there, my friend.
And
RFK was talking about that. It's
here's a video. All right, let me share one with you, my brother. This is a great one. I love this one. I found this one about a week ago, and it's RFK. And
there's atrazine throughout our water supply. If you in a lab put atrazine in a tank full of frogs, it will feminize every frog in there.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
And 10% of the male frogs will turn into fully viable females, able to produce viable eggs. If it's doing that to frogs, there's a lot of other evidence that it's doing it to human beings as well.
So many people don't like Alex Jones because he's just over the top, and he's so dramatic. But when he's stuff like that, 9/11, he called it months beforehand.
Listen, Alex Jones Alex Jones to me is almost a prophet sent from God. Okay. First of all, the motherfucker has been right astronomically than he's ever been wrong on. And the things that he has been wrong on are up for fucking debate. Okay. Because there are some serious questions that need to be asked, and he asked the right questions, which got him jammed up.
Right.
Man, Alex Jones is he's almost a national treasure because you can look back over his 20 or 30 years in radio and look at the shit that he's been consistent about, from Bob Lazar to the alien technology to fucking Skunk Works. And, Alex Jones wasn't just a political theater guy. He was the whole UFO, Bigfoot, alien guy, that ended up in this political spectrum and immersed himself in it, and the dude is so fucking smart,
Yeah, I mean, he probably touch the autism. What they say, you get a little touch of the autism, because I mean,
hey man,
because he just all the way he's 100%. He's 100% in. You're like, okay, he wants everybody to get the information out, and he gets so excited. I like watching him on
animated. He's so animated.
I like watching him on Joe Rogan because Joe will pull him back down. Like, okay, calm down. Let's go over that. And when you listen to him like on Joe Rogan, where Joe Rogan can corral him and get what he wants out without him going on his tirades,
right?
You find out a lot of information.
Right.
And if you go like watch the like 9/11 episode, Joe Rogan with him and Eddie Bravo, they were dropping some bombs of information on that one. But yeah, it was and him and Bob Lazar, like Bob Lazar was talking about element 115, and now they found 115. Like, and
they whitewashed that entire guy. Like,
yeah.
he has, and thank God that he kept this stuff. Like, he kept his pay stubs and shit, because according to the U.S. government, they don't know who he is. He never worked there, but yet he's got detailed documents that show that he was paid from there, that shows that he spent time there. He knows the inside workings of Groom Lake and the different buildings that are there. He can describe them.
And he's never. What I like, I've talked about this on Troubled Minds, when we're doing on the talk show, on the live show on Troubled Minds. I've talked about it. I've said this comment before on air. Bob Lazar, he don't make money off of it. Like,
right.
There's a lot of the
just
guys
telling his story.
A lot of the guys, you see them. They're making
movies and TV shows, and right.
And they're like Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer's got all kinds of stuff. Where you come out there and they'll do this, and he's making money all kinds of places. Bob Lazar is not. Like, I mean, he could make a fortune off T-shirts if he wanted to. Like, he could get together, with like bundle branding or something and make a fucking fortune. But he wants to be left alone. Like, he'd like to have like his life back. That's really, and that's why I've always kind of looked towards him. Like, hey, he's been really consistent. Something must have, he's got to be telling the truth because of that. Why I lean towards him. What's his damn name? What one has come out with that new book. Damn it, my brain is shut down. But good old Google, well, is my friend today. Yeah, Luis Alonso. Yeah, he's been going around. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on him, kind of 50-50. But if everything happened to him like he said, like I watched the News Nation, I think it was, interview with him, and he was talking about he lost his house. He went to go move to another place. He had to move because of work, and then when he got there, the job was gone. They wouldn't let him, and so like they went from having this beautiful house and like huge monster house and everything to living out of a camper, and which he had the picture of the camper. It was a nice camper, but still, you go from look like a $500,000, house to, all of a sudden now you're living in a damn $60,000 camper. It kind of hits the sales, and he lost so much. And people didn't want him to do this or do that. It makes you wonder. They were trying to do him. They were trying to whitewash him, but then stuff's actually coming out and saying what he said was true too. So. That's the bad thing about it. You see that so much. Anytime anybody comes out with anything, it's like as soon as they do it, they're trying to cover them up. They're trying to make them look bad, make them look stupid if they don't fall along.
Did you see the story? RFK announced his support for Donald Trump, and within like 30 minutes, some news story drops about 41 women come forward against RFK for sexual misconduct. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm so sick of that card.
Like where were they when he was running for president on his own?
Where have these bitches been for how many years? But now we're going to bring it up all conveniently at the same damn time. Come on, man. Help me.
And they didn't do it at the beginning of his they waited till after he drops out and then nominates, and sides with Trump. And now all of a sudden everybody comes out. It's bullshit. And like it's
Right.
guaranteed. It's guaranteed bullshit because it is, because there's no way.
It's a crazy world, brother. It's a crazy world. It's a world of misinformation, disinformation, and selective reporting. And if they can cherry pick and choose what they tell you and what they get you to believe, they can control your mindset and ultimately the way you're going to vote and the way you're going to think. People don't know how to manage their emotional buckets. So if you get that bucket to tip it, you can get somebody to freak out and go, oh, that makes me mad or angry or sad. You can control a person's thinking, Principles of adult learning. This TED Talk has been brought to you by Jamie Grant. When I'm not being a sarcastic asshole, I'm actually a pretty intelligent dude. Got this corporate training background and influencing team members and building teams. And, you just see the way that the media uses information to control people's emotions, man. And, like once I learned to look at the media through that lens and ask the question of why do they want me to see this? What emotion are they trying to get out of me? That's when my political framework changed, because then I could see it. Now the picture is painted. I can see through the lens,
When all the news media and all of them are saying the same thing, they're all regurgitating. I'm asking questions. What is going on right now at the same time? I start digging. What is going on in the background? And sometimes it's some kind of legislation they're trying to push through and not get nobody to look at, or this or that. But something's going on that's actually means a damn, other than this bullshit that all the news media is posting, especially when it's some kind of celebrity bullshit. Look at the Kardashians did this, they're blah blah blah, and all of the news reports are talking about that.
What a bunch of bitches.
I used to watch RT all the time because hell, I know it's Russian news, but hell, at least they would report some news. You go all the ABCs and all that, it was all like Kardashian this or this kind of, oh my God, this person's having a baby or whatever. And then And they're
how many baby daddies do those women have? How many NBA players support the Kardashian family because some poor sap nutted in a Kardashian? If I'm not mistaken, they have like 3 or 4 NBA players on the hook for child support. Now I got to Google these bitches.
Oh, me.
Kardashians NBA children. The 40-year-old star of the Kardashians shares 2 children with NBA star Tristan Thompson. Okay, so she's got 1. Isn't there another one, though? Maybe I'm wrong here.
Well, Chloe was with like you also like every time you say Kardashians, they like somebody's having a nervous mental breakdown. Like you got Kanye went freaking batshit. What was that? Damn it, he used to play for the Lakers.
Odom.
Odom went fucking nuts. Like he's like, what are these women doing?
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. I've got it for you, Ricky. Let me break it down. You ready?
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I present now for you is an entire list of NBA players that the Kardashian Jenner family have dated. This includes Lamar Odom, Chris Humphries, Devin Booker, and more. Let's see. Let's see here. This looks like Rashad McCants, the former athlete. He went out with Chloe and Courtney. I guess when you get to bang both the sisters, that's a plus. Of course, Lamar Odom. Chloe wrecked that dude's career. Found him in a whorehouse in Reno, or outside of Vegas, all doped up and man. Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries were only married for 72 days. Yeah, that's fun. Then there's Khloe Kardashian and Rick Fox. He's some retired star. Khloe dated James Harden. Kendall Jenner dated Jordan Clarkson. Khloe Kardashian dated Tristan Thompson. Who did he play for? Who was he with?
I forget.
It don't say. But dude, like Kendall Jenner hooked up with Blake Griffin. Did everybody in the NBA stick their dick in a Kardashian? Like, if you're in the NBA and you haven't stuck your dick in a Kardashian right now, are you really in the NBA?
Well, it's kind of like Madonna back in the day. It's just generational. Madonna was the one back in the 80s, early 90s.
But really, she dated Rodman. Hang on. Madonna dated Rodman.
I think she tapped. I think she got a little piece of Barkley. She got Rodman. She had several.
Well, now you're going to make me Google this.
And now she looks like a swamp creature now with all her damn plastic surgery.
Who would have ever thought that Roseanne Barr would turn into the hottie and Madonna would be like, oh my God.
It's living. I don't know. It's crazy.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that Madonna had a fling with Warren Beatty, Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
She married Guy Ritchie, Sean Penn, David Banda, I'm sorry. And she's currently in a relationship with Jamaican soccer player Akeem Morris. I assume he's astronomically younger than her.
Yeah, like
probably about 50 years or something.
Yeah, she's no spring chicken anymore.
No, bro.
It's
My
sad to see,
God.
like, you see all these people get all this surgery and stuff like that, you know, and like, man, when they were in like the 90s, like Little Kim right now. You seen Little Kim? Like Little Kim was beautiful when she in the 90s, like, and then she bleached her skin and injected all kinds of crap, and now she looks crazy. It's like, man, why
Did
do you
you?
gotta do this stuff? I seen one of the Williams sisters doing the same thing that she's doing it. One of the Williams sisters doing. I guess it's like you get that certain level of power or whatever. Hey, you got to do this to part of the initiation into having all the money and fame. I guess you gotta f your face up too. You know.
So I don't know if you've heard, but not even a month ago. No, it's been a couple months. A couple months ago, Lizzo was in the news, right? Apparently, some people had kind of gone all in on her about her body style, her body shape, her health, and this chick hit the gym full force.
She's lost a lot of weight.
And
It's
I don't
amazing.
know if you've seen, but I just want to share this with you, man, because props to her, man. Anybody that's going to go out and work this hard, man, I give you respect. I'm proud of her. Look at this, bro. Like she has. She grinding, man.
Yeah, she's lost a person.
I'm really like that. And your best work is a life pack, nigga. Prince outlive my jack, nigga.
Man, good for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you see all them celebrities. You see all the. I saw there's a video that it pops up every once in a while on Twitter, and it's sad. Like on both sides, like the extreme. There was the one where the girl was like she was just eating juice and nuts and stuff like that, and she died. Blood sugar got so low she wouldn't eat right. And it was on the other side, and people were like in their early 30s or 20s, and they're like, this person, they're glorifying being, you know, look, I'm big and I'm eating whatever I want to eat, and then like 3 years later they're dead. I'm like, man, everything. I truly, it's kind of a. I believe yin yang. I really do. I believe harmony. I believe there's a balance. Like, you know, you can't go to one extreme or another. Like these crazy diets are one extreme. You can't, and they fail every time.
Here's my thought process
your body
on the
needs
diet.
all this. Your body needs everything. It needs all the little stuff. You don't.
Right.
You can't go one extreme. Like you can lose weight, and there's no doubt. You're like, hey, I lost a little weight, but what else is it doing to your body? It's like you could be just fucking destroying it.
Here's my philosophy on what you put in your body. Okay. If I have to read a box and it has ingredients listed in it, I don't need to put it in my body. Okay. What I eat now consists of vegetables, fresh vegetables that come straight off the shelf, and meat. That's it. You know what I mean? If I need tomato sauce, I'm going to make tomato sauce. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to buy organic tomato paste. You know, I'm not going to, I started reading the labels, man. You know, there's so much MSG and all these different additives and preservatives and shit that they're throwing into your food, man. And, you know,
it's sad if you look at, and I don't eat worth the crap. I'm kind of like you talking about Cage Man. I'm probably on the same level as him, but I'm trying to do a little better, but it just burning probably 8,000 calories a day just keeps me good. But yeah, it's, you know, if you see the same, there's so much content you look out there and you see, hey, look at this same food, same packaging. And then you look at it like if it's over in Europe, it don't have
completely different.
Like
Fanta soda, prime example. So they banned yellow dye number 5 in Europe, right? And the Fanta soda, the color difference between them is like bright orange US by like this high kind of yellow over in Europe, and the flavor tastes completely different. It's good, you know. Dude, they're poisoning us in this country, you know. They're poisoning
because it's to make money. It's all it is you turn around and you look at you follow the money. You follow the money always. You know, it's just like when all the crazy stuff was happening in 2020 and all the doctors were getting paid to write down that if somebody died, you know, they had COVID, and like, you know, they could have had congestive heart failure, diabetes, and emphysema, but they were going to get a check because they had COVID also. You know, that
Motorcycle accident, COVID.
COVID.
Suicide, COVID.
It didn't matter.
Motherfuckers were killing themselves and having a COVID death.
I mean, it's sad that because of the money. And you know, if we put garbage in our food, it makes us not as healthy. So we got to go and use more drugs and more of this, and then all the drugs have so many side effects. It's like you hear the commercial, it's like, holy crap, what the hell? Like, this might cause death and blindness and empathy, and you might,
you know, you
be
could have left all that other shit off the list and just started with death.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the sweaty palms, the blurry vision. I don't think that has anything on death. You should put death first.
Yeah.
Up to and including death.
Like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to take this to side effect this, and you know, and you know, so many friends. I had some that done well and like got taking medicine and like where they got off the medicine. It's like because they're taking this medicine because of this medicine and this medicine because of side effects of this medicine, and then they had to take another medicine because of side effects of that medicine.
That was my mom. That was my
know,
mom. My mom was on so many different blood pressure medications, and this medication to counteract this, to counteract this, to counteract this, to counteract this. And then she ended up getting really sick and going into a hospital that she had never been to before. And this doctor looked at her chart and went, "What the fuck?" And cut like all of her medicine back. Literally, like she was on 12 fucking different medications, cut them all back to one, and was like, "Hey, let's try this." And everything was smooth sailing, you know? And I'm like, "Mom," I'm like, "You're being played. Just smoke weed, Mom." You know, you're old, you're crippled. Just smoke weed. It'll help. Quit drinking sugar. Don't be fat. Smoke weed. I'm horrible, bro.
That's why they didn't want nobody to, you know, the pharmacy and prisons try to keep it from getting legalized for so many years because they knew like most people would do that. Like if I got pain, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do now. A lot of people are using like CBD and stuff like that. You know, well, you gotta go take this pain medicine, and that might kill your liver, but hey, at least you're not hurting. You know,
you're gonna die 20 years sooner, but hey, your knee don't hurt.
I try not to take anything. The only thing I do is Epsom salt baths or something like that, and that's it. I just try to tough it out because you know, it's the side effects and stuff like that.
Right. It's not worth it, man.
Well, it's not worth it. It's not worth, you know, you getting sicker or dying quicker because, you know, all this extra stuff.
Look, man, eat healthy, put good chemicals in your body, electrolytes, fish oil, you know, good vitamins, good minerals, and just stay off the shit, man. You know, you got to start looking at what you're eating. You know,
yeah, I don't do anything. I don't smoke weed. I don't do none of that. I never have.
No, I'm talking about sugar. Sugar is the shit I'm talking about.
I know.
That's the biggest drug of them all.
But for to be honest, and a lot of people would be surprised, like just because it just everything. Man, I ain't never smoked anything. Like,
well, good for
my
you,
parents
brother.
and stuff like smoked cigarettes. My grandfather smoked cigarettes. I hated it. I hated the smell of it. I hated everything about it. Even when I was a little kid, I'd be like, eh. You know, like up there, here, hold this cigarette. I'm like, man, I'd be mad as hell.
God,
I go wash my hands like for fucking like 20 minutes because I want to get that damn shit off my hands. Like, it would drive me nuts. Like, because I'm a real smell type person. Like
I know it, man. I know it, brother.
Like, man, it would drive me crazy. I'm like, I hate it, you know, and so and then, you know, I just, you know, and always like course, it wasn't legal and working, and then of course, I've taken people to go buy all kinds of stuff. I'd say I've been a chauffeur on.
I've never done drugs, but I've dealt lots of them.
Yeah, I've helped people out before. Fun stories, but some I ain't gonna put on here. But but yeah, I never did. Only thing I ever did was drink, and I overcompensated that. I could go.
Right.
I'd walk into bring your own bottle place with a gallon of orange juice and a half a gallon of vodka, and I'd leave when it was gone.
Right.
I would share some now. I wouldn't drink it all. I won't even lie, but I'd probably drink half of it because I'm always thirsty. So like whatever's in front of me, if I'm always, whatever's in front of me. So if I got gin and juice in front of me, I'm gonna drink gin and juice. If I got vodka in front of me, I'm gonna drink it. Which like now I'm doing so much better on stuff like that because like I got bottles here in the house now that I ain't never opened before.
Right. Well, listen, if it's whiskey, I'll come take it off your hands.
I got a bottle of tequila that was bought the day before I was born.
Oh,
in
no
1979 in Mexico.
Man, you're old, bro. You're old.
The worm is still in there. Actually, I seen it the other day. I turned it
alive?
upside down. I think it's alive. I sent a video to a friend. I'm like, "You want to eat that?" I'm like, "Hell no!" That shit right there. That's who knows how old it is before that. So, and if it's even good tequila, I mean, I don't know. But that shit probably knock a.
I'd have to take a shot of it.
It'd knock an Irishman in the dirt even.
Well, on your 50th birthday, we need to break that bad boy open.
I haven't drank probably 10 years now.
Well, good for you, brother. Good for you.
Yeah.
I try not to drink much.
I can't control it. I can have good days. Like I'll just sip a little bit and here and there. And then all of a sudden, just have a bad day and I'll just get freaking hammered. And
it's 3 in the afternoon and I am shit faced.
Especially if I have a ride. If I'm driving, I'm usually good. But if I got a ride, oh shoot, it's on then.
Right.
I'm 10 walk me downs the end, walking down Bill Street, raising hell.
Double fisted the walk me downs. There you go.
What I used to like, I know you have. You go on the Wet Willies.
Yeah.
I used to get the foreplay. I would get the foreplay in there. Like I wouldn't even just do like the White Russian. I get the foreplay with the collar calves, shock treatment, White Russian, and
my man knows the names.
Man, what was the other one? It was 4 of them all together. It's been so long now, but yeah, it was. Yeah, and I drank.
How much was that drink? How much was that drink?
Back then, it was like $8.
Say $5.
Like, and all you needed was like one. Really, that's why I like drinking walk me downs because all you needed was like one, and you feel relaxed and good. And like you drink 2, you're
it does the job.
Smooth. You drink like 10, and you're singing "Long December" in karaoke like it's a heavy metal song, and kicking chairs across the freaking restaurant. And it's don't ask me how I know that, but there might be a rumor. There might be some stories on that, but yeah. I was in Alfred's one night. I absolutely. I remember there was. I remember I spent like my paycheck in that sucker that night. I was stupid. I mean, I bought this girl roses. Like it was at the bar. I got her. Like,
you bought her the bar roses. Damn it, they got you.
Dude, you're going around. You know how Bill Street is. That guy walking through the crowd. Like yeah, and I was buying her drinks, buying my friend Bruce drinks. I drank probably. I don't know. I probably drank 8, 9. Walk me down something like that night. 10. I don't know. I just.
Wow.
When I can go, I can go. All these freckles and everything. There's a reason for it. I got the genetics for it, baby. Irish, Scottish, and Native American, but all the Irish and Scottish came out of me. Like you see my mom, like she's like dark black hair, you know, and everything. Like you see old pictures of her and stuff like that.
Right.
Like she's always been like dark complected. Like hell, she's had like Mexicans come up to her and start speaking Spanish to her because they thought she was Mexican and stuff. Even like that's how dark it was. My grandfather was so damn dark, but
That's
yeah,
funny.
the Irish came out on my end, so that's where I got 40 billion freckles across my back. And,
I'm all frecked up like an Irishman, but I'm a drunk like a Native American, damn it. Woo!
man, I was speaking of that, I was up there, and when I was in North Dakota, we were talking about North Dakota earlier. Man, I was at that little rinky-dink casino they had up there, and man, there was some Chippewa Indians. That was the tribe right there, and man, them dudes had me laughing. I was in the bathroom, and all of a sudden this dude was mad as hell because I guess he was about half drunk, but he was like losing it at the casino. I mean, he was in there cussing and raising hell, but I was laughing my ass off because his accent and the way how everything come out, just his pronunciations, and everything. And I laughed so fucking hard. I'm surprised the dude didn't try to kill me, but man, I laughed so hard. That dude was hilarious to me. I'm sure I was hilarious to them talking to because man, everywhere I went, they're like, "Where are you from?" Memphis. That's it. That's always.
And it's always how you say
where
it.
I live is wherever I live is. I'm representing Memphis.
Memphis.
What was that? I was on Trouble Minds the other day, and I saw it on the YouTube feed. One of the guys thought I sounded like Elvis. I said, "Well, I don't know. I don't think I sound like Elvis, but I am from Memphis, so
right.
Born at the Med.
Born at
back
the Med.
in. Hell yeah, they tried to kill me. Some bitches. They did. The nurse had strep. I almost wasn't here.
Damn.
All my doctor bills got paid. The nurse had strep and gave all the babies strep.
Wow, that's crazy.
All
bro.
died but 2, and you're looking at one of them.
Wow.
I've always wondered what happened to the other one. You know, it's just
Right.
like it's no way to find out, or like unless I run into somebody random as shit and go and have that conversation. But it's always been in the back of my head, like I wonder what happened to the other baby that didn't die. Yeah, I had scars for years. I probably still got scars on top of my head from the needles in my head, and
Right.
for like 2 weeks I was in there and in the little baby ICU and stuff. And my mom tells that story every once in a while. She's like, she always damn near crying when she tells it, but
right,
just like she was holding me and they come in there and they snatched me out of her arms and like, no, he's sick, and they put me back in there. And well, they say must be a reason I'm here. And I was on Trouble Minds talking stories about me driving through trees and everything else, and it must be. Mike Strange said, "Ricky, you slow down on your 9 lives. You only got so
That's
many."
right.
I'm like, well, I've been like this forever. I have
right,
slowed down in my 40s.
Well, you got to. Shit don't heal up like it used to.
No. When you get 13,
and once you
stitches
realize
in your face,
that,
yeah, you get 13 stitches in your face, you got a scar across your cheek, and
right,
teeth are not sideways, and had braces. My parents spent like $5,000 on braces, and then I knocked them some guns sideways in my damn mouth from hitting a tree, and then hitting another tree.
Doesn't sound smart, Ricky.
Yeah, I did a Dukes of Hazzard. I straightened that curve, The scary thing is, like, I didn't say it during when I was talking to who it on Trouble Minds, but there's a cross sitting at that same spot right now. So somebody didn't make it when they went off in that.
Shit.
Yeah, because there's a big ditch. Yeah, when you straighten that curve, it's a big ditch goes down, and I remember I was asleep, but I remember coming up in the air, and then I felt boom, boom. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got out, looked, and I came back and I walked home. Just
Man.
and then the officer's like, man, I need to arrest you for leaving the scene. I'm like, I had to go get help. It was like 2
There you
o'clock in the
go.
morning. I had to go
There you
get
go.
help. And he was like, well, you been drinking? I said, well, I had a couple. And
When I got home,
yeah,
while I was waiting on help,
I went home and I put like 2 little butterfly band-aids on my face. And my mom was like, come in there and was like, what the hell happened to your face? I'm like, well, I wrecked my car. I said, we need to go up there and go get it. So when we drove back up there, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not driving my car out because the passenger side of the car, the front of the car was smashed all the way to the firewall.
Wow.
Completely. So if I had been over just a little bit, like
It
my
got you
whole,
too.
it would have got me too on that. I used to work at a country club and I had a 5-gallon bucket full of golf balls. And some bitches come flying through, took all kinds of shit. My toolbox come through my back seat. Like I didn't have a fold down back seat, but I did after that fucking wreck. It went through my fucking back seat. Yeah, I just absolutely destroyed that car.
Well, I'm glad you're all right, my brother. Holy shit.
I told that story, and when I was 19, I tried to take out a big old oak tree one time. I was working like 85 hours a week. Like I had 2 full-time jobs, but I didn't make shit. I was making like $7 at one and $6 an hour at the other. And I thought I was doing something, but I had the windows down. It was cold, radio all the way up. I was doing all this bullshit you're supposed to do, and I was just trying to make it home so I go to bed. And I turned, my body just said, that's the thing about my body is like once it gets to a point, it's like it's shutting down. It's just boom. Like when I was a kid, it was even like that. My parents used to tell the story. I'd be running around and chicken head cut off, and I would just pass out, boom, and I hit the floor. And they said they used to cover me up right there because if they picked me up, I'd be mad and fucking angry and so they would just wherever I stopped, and they would just throw a blanket over me and let me sleep in the fucking floor. But yeah, I broke everything on that truck. I broke the steering wheel in half.
Everything on that truck.
I broke the steering wheel in half with my forearm. It snapped it in half. I broke the dash of my legs, and I hit so hard that it knocked the radio that was bolted in. I knocked the radio out of the truck. It buckled the roof. It buckled the bed. It buckled like there was nothing to save it. Like maybe a tail light or something. I don't even know if he could save it. Like everything got bent. Everything got just destroyed. Wow. And I walked away from it. I got I had a crimson mass of blood all on my face. But
lucky brother.
Man, just that must be a reason I'm still shitting and kicking, I guess. So
boy, God does strange things, man, when he says you still got some time left. So we're here for a purpose, baby. We're here for a purpose.
There's, really blessed. There's I can sit here all night, tell crazy stories of how I should be gone, but those two right there, for sure, it'll make you go, there must be a reason. So,
right, there's a reason we're still here, bro. Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad we both survived some amazing fucking wrecks, man. I mean,
hell yeah,
you had
you had yours too. Now,
yeah, I'm looking at my X-ray right there. It's nuts, man.
I don't know how in the world that I haven't destroyed, absolutely mangled my body and this of all the stupid stuff and like that.
Right. Just fortunate, man. Just fortunate and lucky.
Yes, sir, for sure.
God, man, I think about my wreck all the time, man. I'm just like, how in the world did I survive this? So, yeah, I need to do a whole podcast just on my wreck and all the shit I broke. That'd be something, man. Ricky, baby, we've been on this 2.5 hours, man. Roll us out of here, my guy.
All right. Well, I appreciate Sweets there. She's sitting there.
Yeah, she's been with us, man. Yeah, I saw that.
She's been with us for a while now, so I appreciate you listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Anybody else, all the others that listens and off and on, Appreciate you, everybody, and who's going to listen to this later once we upload it.
Appreciate
as
you.
always, you can find the show on we are it's syndicated on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. We're on Spotify, Apple, Rumble, you name it. It's probably being played on it. Even TikTok. I even got TikTok a little bit. I'm behind on TikTok. It's not as very well, but yeah, I do have some on TikTok even. So I appreciate you liking and sharing and spread the word. And we're going to keep on keeping on. September 11th at 8:30. We will be doing 9/11 conspiracies. That will be the show. We'll be talking about all kinds of conspiracies, and
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I got a PowerPoint presentation I'm building right now. I got lots of videos and lots of pictures, and I keep adding to it. It's going to be ridiculous. And like I said before, like on the other ones, it's going to be. I bet there's something we say in that podcast that you've never heard before. I almost guarantee it. Because Lucy, every time I speak on that incident, because that was the incident that changed me and made me start looking into more, what's going on. That was the time, and more I dig and more I've seen. And like I said, usually when I talk about it with somebody, they're like, "Well, I never heard about that. Well, I never heard about that. I never heard." And like, well, look it up. And they get on their phone, start looking, like Jamie's done.
Holy
it before.
Shit, you're not crazy.
You're not crazy. Like, yeah, Jamie's done it before. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like me. I get on there, like somebody says something, like, wait a minute, and
I want to look it up, and I want to.
I want to look it up. I want to see,
right.
Like we talked about Tom Hanks earlier with doing the on Forrest Gump, doing the Baphomet fucking salute, whatever. I'm like, man, there's no way. There's no way. This is bull crap. Because the way the video I was watching was kind of screwy, and but shoot. I'm like, then I turn around, I'm like, yep, it stayed on there for about 1 second. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't see it. Because the camera rolled back and then all of a sudden, boop. And then it clicked off and went to the next scene. And I'm like, I'll be fucking damn, these sons of guns. But as always, I appreciate y'all listening, and I'll keep rambling. I'll keep rambling all night if you let me. Appreciate you, Jamie, for being here. I know Dave will be back next week, he said, so we'll have more insight from Dave next week. And as always, y'all keep on keeping on, and the peace and the chicken grease. Y'all be good.
That's right, baby.
Oh, thank you, Walker. Appreciate it. And thank you again, Sweets. Appreciate it. Please like and share. Y'all be good. Right.